right, here we are. Successful Indie Author 5-Minute Focus, episode 77, the anti-sale sales technique. The reason I put this one together is because so many people are paralyzed and terrified of having to go forth and yell, buy my book. Don't do that. That's not a good sales technique. So how do you do it if you meet somebody and you have a book and you think they might be interested, but you don't want to say, buy my book? Equivalency. This is one thing that I use a lot of. Some of my stories have been compared to Andre Norton. So anytime I see an Andre Norton book on sale, I will put it out to my fans and put it on my social media and say, hey, here's a book you might like. And just share that. And yes, they know I have books. I can put it in my, why does it look like I got a big crease in my head? Anyway, I put it on my social media just to show that, hey, if you like these books, without saying you might like my book, but I'll put my book in the banner and things like that. Be consistent with your brand and be likable. This is important. And when you go to Goodreads, you can't go over there as an author and say, hey, I've got books. No, they'll torture and mutilate you. What you have to do is, if people are talking about a book, you talk about a book. Always try to find something positive. If you don't have anything positive to say about a book, don't say anything at all, because you don't want to have that reputation of the author who's trying to tear other authors down. That's not a good look. So just find something positive to say. Hey, I like this scene in that book. If you hated the book, but there was a scene that you thought was okay, then that, hey, I like this scene. This is what it did. Set up well. It kept me entertained. Those kinds of things. Never demean fans and other authors. That goes with the being engaging and a consistent brand of, hey, here's a person who understands what they're talking about. I like the scene. I donate to dog shelters. I do these kinds of things for others. This is a good look. And intelligent conversation regarding prose and the approach and the presentation of a story. That's things that authors can bring to the table. So this is the anti-sales sales technique. It's showing expertise, but not showing judgment. And this is an important differentiation. You can't be out there saying, hey, 50 Shades of Grey. Oh my God, what a horrible book. Why? It sold 91 million copies. I hope my horrible books sell 91 million copies. So you can't judge it. Readers judge. If you're sitting in judgment of other authors, you're going to have problems. Especially if you haven't sold your books yet, because the readers won't, oh, that guy just bitches about stuff. He complains. He just pokes at other authors. No, don't do it that way. What you want to do is be that intelligent person who understands what a good story looks like, and then they will interpolate that, oh, hey, if this person understands what a good story looks like, they may have written a good story. So if fans are bagging on something, don't join the fray. Don't join the mob. Subtle imagery. And I saw this, there was one on Fox News interviewed somebody, and this dude had written one book, and the bookshelf behind him, his book was like everywhere. They had like 10 copies of his book all facing and just wrapped around him like a frame. It was pretty ridiculous. But still, having subtle imagery of your stuff. I write science fiction, so behind me, what do I have? I have architectural drawings of the Millennium Falcon, the Starship Enterprise, the Death Star, and other good stuff. Firefly, he's up there too. That's over this one. Yeah, Firefly. So those kinds of things. So hey, this guy likes science fiction that much that he has this artwork on his wall. Artwork and artistry. If you're an author, you're an artist. Be creative, be imaginative, and think of anything you can do besides telling people, buy my book. That never works. And I've used it, and I'll tell you, it doesn't work. You just want to say, let's talk about this book. Let's talk about this book. Here's one that might be like mine. Give it a look if you want. So different ways to approach selling your book without yelling, buy my book. Being engaging, being likable, being knowledgeable in the subject without being demeaning. Very important safety tip there. Don't be the one who judges and say, oh, that book sucks. You should probably read mine if you want to read a good book. I've seen people do that. It never turns out well. it's not going to sell your book. All right. I'm still caught up on this, the crease in my head. Looks like I've been hit by an axe. I have not been. But there is a blue spot up here where I got stabbed in the head with a pencil in elementary school. So over 50 years ago. So people say pencil isn't forever. Right there, purple spot in my head where I got stabbed by a pencil. All right, everybody.